Barbara Eden's name still carries a certain shimmer, one that feels less like nostalgia and more like timeless enchantment. While many remember her as the smiling genie who emerged from a pink bottle on television screens, her cultural impact stretches far beyond that single role. Long before the age of curated feeds, filters, and viral fame, Barbara Eden represented a form of beauty and confidence that was instinctive rather than engineered. The recent rediscovery of her early bikini photographs has reignited fascination, not because they are provocative, but because they radiate a self-assured elegance that feels increasingly rare. Eden's rise occurred during a pivotal moment in popular culture. Television was becoming a powerful storyteller, shaping ideals of femininity, charm, and aspiration. Against this backdrop, she emerged as a figure who blended softness with strength. Her appeal wasn't loud or confrontational. It was magnetic. There was an ease in the way she moved, smiled, and occupied space, an assurance that suggested she knew exactly who she was, even when the world hadn't yet decided how women were supposed to be seen. The vintage beach and bikini images now circulating online capture this quality with remarkable clarity. Shot in an era untouched by digital manipulation, the photographs feel refreshingly honest. Eden doesn't pose for validation or spectacle. Instead, she appears relaxed, joyful, and fully present, as though the camera simply happened to catch her in a moment of self-contentment. That is precisely what gives the images their power. They are not declarations of rebellion, yet they quietly challenge the constraints of their time by presenting a woman unashamed of her body or her confidence. What makes these images especially compelling is the contrast between then and now. Today, public displays of confidence are often strategic, carefully branded, monetized, and optimized for attention. Eden's confidence was none of those things. It existed independently of approval. In the 1960s, that alone was radical. While some critics once labeled her photographs daring or improper, history has reframed them as expressions of autonomy rather than provocation. The discomfort they caused says less about Eden and more about the cultural limitations she gently exposed. Her enduring appeal lies in this subtlety. Eden never needed to dominate a room to command attention. She didn't rely on shock value or constant reinvention. Instead, she embodied consistency, grace paired with warmth, glamour softened by sincerity. These qualities allowed her to age not as a relic of a bygone era, but as a reference point for what elegance looks like when it isn't tied to trends. Viewed through a modern lens, Barbara Eden feels unexpectedly current. If those same photographs appeared today, they would likely be praised as examples of effortless confidence or natural beauty. The irony is that what we now celebrate as progressive once unsettled audiences. Eden didn't set out to challenge norms, yet by simply being herself, she helped expand them. Her legacy foreshadows conversations that would not fully surface for decades, about body autonomy, self-expression, and the difference between visibility and validation. At the heart of it all is a lesson that transcends celebrity. Eden's presence reminds us that confidence is not something added on through styling, attention, or technology. It is cultivated internally. Her images convey a woman comfortable with her identity, unburdened by the need to perform confidence rather than live it. That quiet assurance is what continues to resonate across generations. Now in her 90s, Barbara Eden remains emblematic of a kind of glamour that does not fade because it was never superficial to begin with. Her story is not merely one of Hollywood success, but of personal authenticity sustained over time. The resurfacing of her early photographs is less about revisiting the past and more about rediscovering values that endure: grace, self-respect, and the courage to exist unapologetically. In the end, Barbara Eden's legacy is not defined by a costume, a role, or a moment. It is defined by presence. She showed the world that beauty rooted in confidence does not expire, and that true elegance leaves an imprint long after trends disappear. That is why, decades later, her image still feels luminous, not because it belongs to the past, but because it continues to speak to the present.